Hi, good morning, my Thrive Tribe, from me and Penelope. So, happy Tuesday, guys. So, literally, I have just come from my workout. So, before I jump in the shower, I wanted to jump online to you guys. So, my question is, are you in the 5% or are you in the 95%? Now, the 5%, what actually is it? Okay, so the 5%, do you know that the 5% of the world owns 95% of the wealth? Okay, they do stuff that the 95% of people are not doing. They're not thinking about it. They're not even doing it. They're not taking the action. Now, examples of what the 5% does are the following. Getting up early. You know, when that alarm goes off and you really don't want to get up and you get up, okay? Working late, for example, and I don't mean excessively. I don't mean getting up really early and working late every single day because I have to be in that 5%. No, it's either, you know, one or the other. So going to the gym when you really don't feel like it, okay? Because we can all skip to the gym when we're feeling great and we're on a hype and we're eating really well, but when we really don't feel like it and you don't feel like pushing yourself at work, you don't feel like going to the gym, or you don't feel like eating that clean dinner that's in front of you, you really just want to go and get McDonald's, that's the 95%. The 5% are those people that push through. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not always in that 5%. I do have my off days. I do have those days where it's more of a struggle, for example, to kind of do a certain topic or subject or an action. But do I do it? Yes, okay? Now, that's what's going to make the difference, okay? So if we're continuously making excuses every day, if we're every day making excuses why we can't go to the gym, but then you're telling me you really want a fit and healthy body, they're conflicting, okay? And you're never going to get that dream body, this is just an example, if you don't put the action, if you don't take action and put the effort in and eat well and go to the gym. Now, if you don't like the gym, then go for a run outside. I don't like running outside, so you're never going to really see me running outside. I only done it once, many years ago for charity, and it was hardly a run, it was more of a walk. A very slow walk. Anyway, you have to think about I don't want you to push yourself to doing something if you don't actually enjoy it. I love yoga, okay, absolutely love it. Sometimes I get but I also love my work. Sometimes I get so into my work in the office, I'm like, oh, I'll do yoga later, I'll do yoga later. Later comes and I didn't do the yoga, okay? Again, I'm not in that 5% then, because you have to push yourself at times. And I never glorify success, okay? I never tell you how it's really easy and everything's all happy, daisy and positive and nothing goes wrong, because that's absolute rubbish. It absolutely does. It's a roller coaster. Even now, when you reach certain peaks of your success, you still have things you need to overcome. You still have times where you need to push yourself back into that 5%. And you can also recognize when you are being a little bit slack. I know it myself. I got back from holiday and I said to myself, oh yeah, I'm going to get back into the gym tomorrow. Now, I went to yoga. I'd done some yoga, but I didn't actually go to like the gym. And I had to have a sit down with myself and go, right, Tash, you've had an amazing holiday. You know, you've eaten more and drunk more than what you've done. That's what life is for. It's all about balance. But you've also got to get back to it now. Get back into that 5%. Come on, how bad do you want this? Hi, everyone that's jumped on. Couldn't agree more. Mwah, exactly. So, and I look up to people, you know, when I, for example, see Tony Robbins, for example, he was talking about, he's obviously in the 5%. He was talking about how he goes through his pain barrier. Now, as you all know, I suffer from degenerative disc disease. So I'm open and wanting to try loads of different things to help my back pain because I want to come off the morphine. Now, I know 1,000,000% this mindset will get me off that back pain, off the morphine. 1,000,000%. What I don't want to happen is my back pain to flare up and not be manageable. So I'm trying all holistic things. I've got so much supplements. I'm going to try cupping. And he mentioned something that he does with an oxygen tank. So I'm like, right, bosh, I'm going to start Googling that because I want to make sure that I'm the best version of myself. Now that is, if for example, let me give you an example. If for example, I was a health and fitness coach, okay, and I wasn't eating well and I wasn't going to the gym or doing any exercise and I wasn't looking after myself, how is that being the best version of myself? I want to make sure that I'm the best coach there is. That means that getting into gear, but also it's your physical, it's you feeling good. And I notice when I don't do any exercise, how much worse my pain gets. Also, your mindset can slip. It's honestly, it's literally, they like go hand in hand. So back to the 5%. You need to make sure that you're planning out your day. And if you say you're going to do something, so another golden nugget for you, a tip is, if there is something on your to-do list that you really are dreading doing it, do it first, okay? A plain example is, sometimes, obviously, I wake up every morning at 5 o'clock, sometimes 4:45, but mainly the majority of the time 5, even when I don't set my alarm. But that's took years of training. Now, if, for example, I don't really feel like training today because I've got a lot of work on, I really want to make sure this content's great, I've got a client call, I'm back-to-back with my clarity calls. For example, I say I'll do it later. Bet your bottom dollar I will not do it later. Because you put it off, and it's constantly in your mind, and you're going, I must go to later. Does that mean what time's I've got to finish work to get to the gym, and what time? And you're constantly doing it. Just get up and do it. It could be Facebook ads. It could be your website building. It could be making that sales call. It could be anything that's to do with your business or personal. But you have to do it, okay? And if it's something that's so important to your business or your personal life and it needs to get done, do it first. Trust me, guys, it's a game changer. So as soon as I wake up, instead of giving my excuses, I'll do it later, So get your ass, do some exercise, do some yoga, get yourself into that frame of mind. Now I'm buzzing. Now I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go. So I want you to answer below, are you in that 5% or are you in that 95%? If you are in that 95%, how are we going to get you to that 5%? Because that is what differs, okay, from the successful people to in that 5%. It's their mindset. They're going that extra length. They are not quitting when other people are quitting. You know, times it does get hard. I always talk about this in business, but if it really means everything in here, do it, pursue it. You know, if you really want to get that, I don't know, that dream body, whatever that means to you, whether that's percentage of body fat, whether that's you just feeling healthy inside, whether that's you feeling confident, it doesn't matter about size and it doesn't matter about weight. What the weighing scale says, it really does not matter. That does not define who you are. So if I sat here and I was 9 stone or 19 stone, it doesn't take away from the fact I'm a great coach, okay? So I'm a big believer in it. That doesn't define who you are. It's about how you feel. You want to feel confident. You want to feel great. You want to love yourself, whatever size you are. You know, we all have things that you could point out and say, oh, I've got this and I've got this and I've got this, but life's too short. We need to love ourselves, look in the mirror and embrace what we have. You know, people looking at you, loving to look the way you do. You need to stop looking at other people. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent here now. I'm going into self-love. But what I wanted to say was, think about those things that you could push yourself that are going to get you into that 5%. Because that, up there in that 5%, is where your dream life is. That is where you're smashing your goals. That is where you're pursuing your dream life. That is when the real stuff, the great life happens. So don't forget, guys, and don't give yourself a hard time. If you haven't been in that 5% today, push yourself tomorrow. Push yourself tonight and go, right, I am going to do that. And remember, my top tip, if there's something that you're really dreading for the day, do it first. Mwah!